Welcome back. Our next guest is particularly interested in the holistic well being of Bronx youth and young adults. Through Compassion, her Bronx service based organization, she has committed to implementing health curricula and best practices for youth and young adults. Joining us now to share more is Caroline D. Davis, CEO and founder of Compassion. Welcome, Caroline. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. So, to start it off, for anyone who's not familiar, can you tell us about Compassion and your mission?
Absolutely. So Compassion is a service-based MWBE, Minority Woman Business Enterprise Organization. And it's all about providing services to youth and their families here in the Bronx to make sure that we have the conversation about sexual health, to make sure we have the conversation about what does it mean to not be number 62, and really just giving them a platform to really be honest and open and raw, which unfortunately is not, something that's always provided for them.
Thank you so much for sharing, Caroline. And how have you been able to provide services throughout the pandemic? A lot of things have changed this past year.
Absolutely. So we are definitely face to face, hands on. And so we totally have had to, go virtual very much like everyone else. So a lot of our sessions have been through Zoom. We have consulting, the Good Shepherd Services BRAG program, Bronx Rise Against Gun Violence. We consult for all their therapeutic sessions. And so we do that every Wednesday through a Zoom. We've been able to have guest speakers come in, like from New York City Smoke Free and Bronx Reality Check. Those are some of our partners. So pretty much like the rest of the world, we've been operating virtually. And thank God it's still been successful.
Wow, that's incredible to hear. And a lot of the youth is still participating in these important programs. That's something that we should keep doing, engaging our youth in programming, especially because of how much lockdown they'd have to endure this past year. Yeah. Caroline, as you mentioned, your organization is youth focused. A quote on your website stood out to me. It read, "The youth are not our future, but our now." Can you tell us about this statement and why you felt inclined to provide these resources to youth, especially in the Bronx?
I am a Bronx girl, truly from the Bronx, born, grew up in Castle Hill Projects. So I know what it means to have to apply for summer youth employment. I know what it means to, be in a single parent home. And one of the things that was instilled in me, and I'm so proud of my upbringing here in the Bronx, are the tools and resources, right? Those are the things that have built me into being the woman that I am today. Those are the individuals that, the grownups that were in my life at that time brought me to the place that I am today. But it was because they focused on the gifts and the power that I had as a young person. And I believe that's something that we as adults need to take more accountability of, and making sure that we are preparing youth now. They are creative now. They are intelligent now. They have power now. And it's just so important that we make sure that they're prepared to run the world in the next couple of years.
Absolutely. And can you share more about your Compassion Bronx Voices project? What exactly is it and who can participate and how?
Absolutely. So Bronx Voices is another consulting project that we have with CUNY School of Medicine and Memorial Sloan Kettering Hospital. And all the researchers are Black and brown women. And they specifically wanted to focus on what has been the experience of Bronx parents and their teens in the midst of this pandemic. And in doing so, this is a virtual focus group. It's 3 sessions for parents, 3 sessions for teens, and it's in English, it's in Spanish. And once parents and teens complete the actual 3 sessions, they get Amazon gift cards virtually. So if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out and utilize the information that's being provided.
Compassion also has a group just for young men. Can you tell us about your Youngster to Mr. group?
Yes, so we actually finished our last session last Thursday, but we definitely want to just focus on um, just having a open space for young men to freely talk as well as work out. And so we had a 6-week program where young men were able to basically kick rhymes with Randy Mason, who is an amazing hip hop artist right here from the Bronx. And then right after that, they had a fitness session with a retired NYPD police officer, Kenny Kissadoo, who's now a certified personal trainer. And we're hoping that the Department of Health, the Bronx Neighborhood Action Center, will provide funding again. That was how we were able to host and facilitate the 6 weeks program, which was also virtual.
Got it. And as you said, the last event happened last week, but if there's a young man out there that wants to inquire about future programming, how can they stay in touch and find out more?
We definitely encourage young people to reach out to us year-wide. Our office doesn't close. We are available to give resources, and we do have some upcoming things that we might be doing with the Allen Houston Foundation. There will be other opportunities, especially as the summer comes about, and we definitely will make sure to bring in, young men, young women, LGBTQ youth, whoever you are. We want you to know that we're available to share our compassion.
I also want to share that Compassion provides internship and volunteer opportunities for the youth. Caroline, can you share more about this and how people can also inquire about these opportunities? We had the numbers on the screen, but if you can also state them for our viewers.
Absolutely. I am a professor at Lehman College in the Health Sciences Department, and many of my students need internships to complete their undergraduate degree. And so we provide internship and volunteer opportunities for both college and high school students, really just making them see how the healthcare field needs them, and how population health and community health is something that needs to just have more conversation in our Black and Brown communities. And so if you're interested in knowing more, you can definitely DM us on our Instagram page, which is com.pas, on Compass It On with the periods inside. And you can also email us, and that's at email@compassiton.com, or give a call to us at 347-507-5885.
Caroline, I wanted to emphasize just the importance of having youth services like yours during this time, especially in the Bronx. And, you as a Bronxite, why was it so important for you to continue providing these services?
I believe that, and I thank you for that question so much. It's really important that young people recognize that there are people that look like us that want to see them be successful in ways that are outside of, what success often is created like in a box, so to speak. We often have dreams of being celebrity status, whether it's a ball player or in the music field, and that's great. But there are successful people right here in the Bronx doing amazing things, and just to understand that success needs to be redefined when we look at especially what it means in healthcare. Right. And part of that is having conversations about sexual health, having conversations about, why is asthma one of the huge health disparities here in the Bronx? So, mental health. We need to have these conversations with young people now so that they're not another statistic, and that we won't be talking about how the Bronx is number 62 10 years from today in health disparities.
Absolutely. And when we talk about the challenges that the youth, our Bronx youth in particular, encounter, what are some of those challenges and how has your organization helped them overcome those challenges?
Absolutely. So, huge challenge. Our young people encounter violence, right? And 2019 to 2024, Governor Cuomo put out a health prevention agenda. And for the very first time on that agenda was addressing violence. But violence has been, unfortunately, decades of trauma that's impacted our communities. And so that's something myself, at 6 years old, I went to my first funeral where my uncle was shot, and so these are things that we have to address and recognize that we suppress a lot of this, and then we often wonder why we're angry or why we're acting in such ways. It's because we did not have the platform to discuss what we were really experiencing. And so it is personal to me to make sure that there's a platform for our Black and brown youth, of course all youth, but I'm a Black woman, so, and my friends are from the Bronx, look like me, and so what does it mean to have these conversations and not accept it as the norm? So that's really important to us at Compassion.
Yes, it's moving on from the trauma and healing together, right, Caroline? So that's
Absolutely.
so important in our communities, and to have that intergenerational conversation with each other, no matter the age, is so important. And that's why I thank you and your organization for leading these efforts and spearheading these efforts in our borough. So thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. I thank you so much, Sonyi, for this opportunity, and I look forward to coming back.
Of course, you are welcome anytime, Caroline. Before we go, again, how can people find out more about Compassion and stay connected for future programming?
Yes, please follow us. We definitely want to share all the resources we have. We're still looking for people to participate in many of the opportunities that we have with partners. So at COME, period, pass, PASS, period, IT, period, ON. Follow us on Instagram. Definitely go to our website, compassidon.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave us a voicemail. We'll follow up as soon as we can. And we are here to give resources that we want to make sure the Bronx is not number 62 in the future.
Let's change that. Thank you so much, Caroline, for your time today.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Of course. Caroline D. Davis is the CEO and founder of Compassion BX. She is also a Bronxite. We'll be right back here on Open BXRX Tuesday.